Okay, so we're recording and I'm the host. So basically this is my podcast. So welcome to This Is a Bad Idea, and it absolutely is. I would like to welcome my guest. We have Lucy. And
Can you please get the name of the podcast right, of your podcast? It's called This Is Not a Good Idea.
That's what I said.
You said this is a bad idea. And
Well,
I need to
it's
tell
only
you,
because I've listened to a few episodes.
the only reason that you're on this podcast is because you have some semblance of a following, and I want you to promote it better than you did. You promoted the podcast for us so emotionally and then did not include the link to your fans. And so I think that I wanted you to be a guest so you would care and try.
It's because I care about my fans that I did not provide the link.
Well, I want to tell my fans, my mother, and the 4 people that are listening who you are. This is comedian Bob Smiley, who has hijacked our podcast 100%.
I'll be honest, I was shocked when you said you wanted to do Zoom, because I thought, does Kerri's Apple IIe even do Zoom? Like, I thought you used it for your MySpace page and then that was it. But
I'm using this on my Nintendo Sega Genesis, and it's really working. And after this podcast, I have a killer game of Donkey Kong that I'm about to crush. So let's make it fast.
I'm going to play Donkey Kong later, but it's the updated version. It's called Uber Eats driving. So I'm going to be running up and down stairs at apartment buildings. So this is a nice little break from my normal career.
Bob Smiley, comedian extraordinaire with more followers than me. You have actually listened to our podcast, and we were discussing earlier, because you're raising, how many boys are in your house now? Like, how many kids? I don't even know. 5?
We have 5 that are ours, but we always average about 8 total.
Okay, so you're raising boys in Texas, which is the new California. Do you have any questions for me or my daughter Lucy about parenting or life? Because
why would I know about?
Because she might know.
First of all, I have a statement to California from Texas. We're full, so thank you guys, but we're good. We're good. So you guys.
Red is the new blue. Blue is the new red. I don't know. So, but my life is vastly different because there's a lot of estrogen in my house. Do you want to talk about that? Do you have anything you want to know that could help you get in touch with your feminine side?
Yes, because we are totally different. So I'm raising 5 boys. And when Coulter was a little kid, I was over at a friend of ours' house who had a girl the same age. And I don't have sisters. I never grew up, I don't even remember hanging out with girls. That's kind of painful because I did proms.
That's a whole nother podcast, Bob. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't hang out with girls. I hang out with guys.
And I'm sure that makes your mom sleep well at night. I'm sure that's a really good deal.
Like the chip off the old block. But anyway, more about you.
So Coulter was like 6, and we were in this living room, and there was his friend that was a girl, was about 6. And he rolled a Nerf ball over to her. Now, I only have boys, and so I thought, oh, this is cool. He rolled it over, and it just rolled, and it barely touched her ankle, and it was a Nerf ball. And she looked down at it, and she started crying, which was so foreign to me. And she was crying, and she was in front of these glass French doors, and she was starting to cry, and she turned, and she saw her reflection in the mirror and stopped crying for a second and put her hand up over her mouth very dramatically and went, ah! And I was like, you little drama. And from there on, I was like, I am so glad I have boys. I get creeped out walking down the what we call the pink aisle in Walmart, where all the girl toys are. So yeah, I don't know how you do it.
I mean, when Lucy was about 5, she was crying hysterically because she wasn't a good cooker.
With all due respect, and now I'm more mature and I realize that neither are you.
Okay, well, so we had this video. I had to put her on video, and she was crying for real. So of course I'm going to exploit this moment. But then she stopped and realized she was on camera, took her moment.
I started talking about my friends,
and then continued with the saga, which I think women are just very much more self-aware. Now I feel sorry. I feel sorry for your wife who has to live with 80.
No.
I think that we're more aware.
We're more aware, but not emotionally. We're just as good as anyone else.
Okay.
You're more aware of the drama that you create around you.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You for sure are.
I go to school with a lot of very sensitive, emotional boys.
Yeah, Christians. So religious.
They're so like
I like how you
crying.
said boys with a
You'd
question
think they'd be
mark.
the kind of guys. You think they'd be the kind of guys that are like, when they get mad at each other, punch them in the face and move on, right?
Right.
No, that's the girls. The guys are like the cheerleaders in high school.
Yeah.
They're the ones that start the gossip. They're the ones that like really.
Should we
push
name
for
names?
stuff.
I mean, who's doing it? Like, let's just call it out right now.
I mean, the girls.
Does
some
one
of
rhyme
them-
with Kingston?
Kingston does not start gossip. He creates a whole lot of other drama
So
that we call comedy.
So I have a question. What's the name of your new school that you're going to have to transfer to when this comes out?
and there's one boy who I will not say his name, but he's the sweetest, like amazing boy. But every year he has a crush on like a new girl, and then he always defaults back to Lucy. Like Lucy is his total like fallback, and it's never gonna happen. He's had a crush on her since like he even made up an imaginary girlfriend until
we
Lucy.
can't even use this anymore because he's
He's
gonna
not
be
gonna
watching this.
listen.
Yeah, he's been listening.
Oh,
So
shoot.
does he come to you? Does he make a pact with you? Like, hey, look, if neither of us are seeing anybody in the sixth grade,
I'm only
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah,
I'm only gonna use
definitely.
Andres. I'll use that part, but you have to edit. He made up an imaginary girlfriend. But I think Lucy's learning a lot about boy-girl relationships. That there's always gonna be that one guy in your life.
Hey, listen, I am single and I'm fine with that, and I don't want anyone.
You're 13. Of
I'm
course
great.
you're
Okay.
single.
but I have heard Kerri
What?
say the
No, all
same
my
thing
friends
on
have
the
boyfriends.
phone. I've heard you say the same thing to me, Kerri. Like that is apple not far from the tree.
I am single, but I am single with 2 kids. Okay,
Listen, you're the one who's like, you're going to couples bingo.
I'm going to singles bingo. It's not couples bingo.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's right.
called-
You're single.
It's
But
called.
it will be couples bingo if you play your cards right. Like you go in
I'm
single
going-
bingo.
Bob, I'm going to my first single Zoom mixer that I've ever gone to since I've been re-singled.
You
And
know, I'm gonna ruin this for you, right?
I know it's gonna be
And
horrible.
have you picked out your filter for the evening?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with unicorn horn and donkey ears, and it's called Palentine's Day, and I just want to
no.
I want to remind you of what the singles are having to suffer through on February 14th. Like I'm literally
Valentine's Day.
I'm gonna play games with strangers.
It's a room full of people who are friend zoning everyone.
Why are you judging? I might get you a new
Valentine's Day.
daddy. I might get you a new daddy.
Stop saying it and don't say that
Preparing
word.
you. I think he's preparing you for what's ahead. So so you're doing this on Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
singles
I don't want
bingo.
Dad. I just want 2 Christmases.
Well,
and I already have 2 Christmases. I've had 2 Christmases forever, even before my parents were divorced.
why do you have someone I don't know about?
No, I have my Korean grandparents. We always
Oh.
did that separately.
So back to my point as I wrap up this very intriguing interview, best one I've ever done. It's a game night. I just call it bingo night, but it might be trivia. But I'm trying to play games to find old money. So whatever games we
Marry,
play,
Rich, and Murder.
Marry, Rich, and Murder. See, that's how we're gonna end this this little interview, Bob. Aren't you just gonna go home and hug your smelly boys and be like, I'm so glad I don't have all this
Oh,
drama?
fun fact, today we were doing grammar in class, and what we ended on before we left was my friend had to diagram a sentence, and the sentence said, no matter how good life gets, just remember it's super short.
That's beautiful.
And we
think-
just left class on that.
Yeah, I think Seinfeld said life is short, but not short enough. So
I think that's a good.
that
I
all
agree
gives
with that.
a warm.
Bob, I look
feeling.
forward to you heavily promoting this podcast on all of your Bob Smiley Minute that you do on Facebook every single day, the Smiley Minute. And
Every single day, new comedy, and it keeps you updated on the news. It's phenomenal. It's actually worth listening to, unlike
unlike
we're cutting
what,
out.
darling?
cutting out.
What? Yeah.
What?
Well, well, my friend Mark Gunger. Do you know Mark Gunger?
In case Mark is watching, then yes, I do. I love that
Well,
guy.
he's one of my other friends. He's got like 300 bazillion followers, and he just posted my link with no note on his Facebook to all his thousands, like literally hundreds of thousands. And then the next post was a zebra at the zoo with no note either. So it was just like,
why are you upset?
like that day I was promoted with a zebra.
Okay,
Oh, I
so
see that as a win.
all right, follow-up question. Where was the zebra? That sounds really
In the
interesting.
zoo. In the zoo.
Oh, okay.
Is that a trick question?
I'll have to check that out. No, that just sounds really interesting. Like that's a
It's
really
Mark Unger, Facebook. Let him know that I sent you
Mhm.
and that you're listening to my podcast because of him. But I look forward to getting back on tour together with you in 2026, and it's going to be great.
2026.
Yeah. That's probably whenever all this is going to get fixed.
When we're allowed out of the house. No, God bless Texas, because they're doing their show for me in April. They're like, it's Texas, we're doing it. So
Yeah, we shut down for like 3 weeks, and then we were like, "What are we doing? We're Texas." So,
I know, like, yeah, I don't know. All these wussy Californians, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna make it.
Do we
I
have
think
to wear masks in Texas?
they'll be. Do you wear masks in Texas?
if you're robbing a bank, they're pretty strict about it. But other than that, no, we're good.
Oh my
Well,
gosh, we need to move to Texas.
okay. Well, we'll see you in Texas then.
Again, we're full, but thank you. It really means a lot, but we're good.
Thanks for coming on our podcast. You made it not better, but thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
always a pleasure.
bye.
Bye.
Okay, so did you record that? Okay, bye, Bob.
Bye. Oh, Lucy, I'm better than your mom.
Yeah, he's your real father.